The power of the system that we're going to try to create, its power comes from being one of the first systems where we seriously want to take educators and we want to take people who have been in classrooms and we want to take the scientists and all sit together and say, how do we make something actionable? Not just theoretically sound, but actionable in a way that makes it fun to be a teacher again. When I ask people, why did you go into teaching? They always say because, like, we love the fire in their eyes. I met this 2-year-old last night. Oh my God, it's so cool to be with a 2-year-old. You can just see it, you know? Like this little kid, everything was magical. And he was just looking for the next thing and all I had was a water bottle. I mean, you know, I was just literally getting out of the cab. And I said to the kid, well, here's a drum. And the kid started playing the drum on the back of the water bottle. And I said, maybe we can make it into a xylophone. So we started taking the fence that was outside and it was a xylophone, you know? And then I took it and I said, I wonder if we can get a sound out of it. There's just about that much water, so I was really worried I might not be able to do it. And there it was, you know? And we got a boat sound out of it. And all of a sudden, this bottle became a magical learning experience for a 2-year-old standing on a corner in Chicago, you know? And that's what we need again. But if we don't see that the water bottle can be a drum, and we don't see that the water bottle can be a boat, and we don't see that it can be a xylophone, then we've lost already. And by scripting everybody so tightly in the classroom, I think we've lost it. So you guys are the group to do it, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of you joining this exceptional study. And bold study. But together, I think we can do it, and I'm super psyched about it. I wanted to start with this because I thought it was such a powerful quote that I read by Yuval Noah Harari. And, you know, he's the one who wrote the book Sapiens that, you know, was all around, and he's really become a huge influencer. And I think this quote kind of said so much to me. The Industrial Revolution has bequeathed us a production line theory of education. Almost everyone agrees that no matter its past achievement, it is now bankrupt. Now, I think most of us in this room would have argued that it was bankrupt, you know, a year ago. But I would have to say that after November of 2023, or 2022, with the introduction of ChatGPT and AI, if it wasn't bankrupt before, it sure as heck is bankrupt now. And we really have to prepare kids with the right kind of skills for the future. So, we already did the exercises. Chung, chung. There are a lot of critical education challenges that are on the table right now, and I think that's why the whole world, especially post-pandemic, is moving in this direction. For one, we had learning loss, and you've heard that term bandied around a lot, as if the kids, you know, who are growing up now will never be able to make it in the world. I keep coming back to this thinking, didn't we ever have world wars or anything? Like, didn't kids ever live through traumas before? And it seemed to me that they were, you know, they were hurt by the pandemic for sure, but it wasn't like they were doomed by it. So I do a little bit resent that kind of terminology. But the result of that, the result for a lot of years, I've been working on the hurried child, I call it the hurried parent approach, since the 1980s. I know I'm like a dinosaur, but the point is that as we think about this, we've gotten so scared that we created a whole market of educational toys. And of course, we had the rise of, in the United States, the educational presidents and schoolification that came with taking what you do in 3rd and 4th grade and dumping it down, right, to what happens in 2nd grade, then dumping it down into 1st grade. And Daphne Basak once said, oh, kindergarten has become the new 1st grade. And I think that's true. So unfortunately, when you walk into kindergarten, Susan Engel's currently doing a book about this, and she's told me what she's finding out there it actually makes you cry, because there's so much that's been put into the schoolification of kindergarten that you go in and it looks like you're in a 5th grade classroom, you know, and that's kind of not okay. We do need to increase outcomes for everyone, and we need to make school a place anybody'd want to enter. I tried this on Twitter. Didn't we do this on Twitter, Elias? We actually sent out a probe and we said, hi, what's your memory of school? What do you first think about when you think about your education? Anybody want to guess what the answers were?
Boring.
Boring. Boring was the #1 answer. Boring. Some put deadly. That's not okay, but that is the #1 answer that we got. That's horrible. And it's no wonder, if that's what's going on, that teachers are fleeing this profession, and that's sad too. So in active playful learning, we're trying to take the super bold approach that the academics in the room are going to think sounds normal, and it may sound normal to everybody, but it's not what we're doing, you know? What if we taught in the way that human brains learn? And I'm often asked as a developmental psychologist, and I'm sure the rest of you guys are too, like, haven't you learned anything in 50 years you can share with us? And we keep saying, well, the next study is, and they say, we're not interested in the next study. Tell us something you know. And there is something we know. So for people in my world, this was a bold move to ask, what do we know in 2023 where there's any consensus? You know, so that you could use that in classrooms. And in fact, a lot of it, you know, was going to be pretty sensible to the folks who are in the classroom already. It's like, duh, I climbed this mountain and here you are. You're finally coming there? Thank you for joining us.